A little boy calling himself apostle. Because they want a title. A little girl calling herself, and she has nothing to prove. She's an apostle. Of apostleship. It is persecution. Why can't you read through the Pauline letters and look at the marks of the... Paul outlines them. He says, look, these are the marks of a true apostle. He says he must have had an encounter with Jesus Christ. Face to face. Not anywhere else. And he goes on and he says miracles happening through the ministry and all this kind of thing. But above all, being a father and a bulldozer that goes into the difficult areas and establishes the household of God. You can't even run a Sunday school. You are calling yourself an apostle. You can't run even a praise and worship practice. You call yourself an apostle. Which apostle? Who appointed you? Now let's go to verse 17 of chapter 2 of the book of Romans. And I want us to read together. Let's go together. Verse 17. Behold, you are called a Jew, and rest in law and make your boast in God. And you know this will, and his will, and approve the things that are more excellent, being instructed out of the law. And you are confident that you yourselves are a guide for the blind, a light to those who are in what? Darkness. An instructor of the foolish, a teacher of babes, having in the law the form of knowledge and of the truth. Therefore, you who teach another, do you not teach yourself? That a man should not steal. Do you steal? You who say to a man, should not commit adultery. Do you commit adultery? You who abhor idols, do you rob temples? You who make your boast of law, do you dishonor God through breaking the law? For it is written, the name of the Lord is blasphemed among the Gentiles because of you. Now I will take time to explain that line, but let's go on. For circumcision profits if you keep the law. But if you are a transgressor of the law, circumcision is made uncircumcision. Therefore, if the uncircumcised man keeps the righteousness of the law, will not his uncircumcision be counted as circumcision? And will not the physically fulfills the law judge you, who having the letter of the law and the circumcision transgress the law? For he is not a Jew who is one outwardly, nor is circumcision that which is outward in the flesh. But he is a Jew who is one inwardly, and the circumcision is that of the heart in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not from men, but from of God. Now, serious idea. I can say rebuke on us. And he says, you who preach to others, don't do this, don't do this. Do you do it? So he says, if you tell people don't do something, and yet you do. And then he says in verse 24, let us read verse 24 together. For as it is written, the name of God is blasphemed among Gentiles because of you. Now, Paul writes somewhere else and he says, you are the letter. You are my letter. You are the letter of God. That nations do what? Read. You are the letter of God that nations read. And so he asks, what are people reading?